So the other day I decided it was time to upgrade my Mac OS. Once it was complete, I realized that everything had been wiped off my MacBook, including my entire music library. Now as a DJ, you all know how tragic this is, especially as it happened on a Friday night. So in this video today, I'm going to show you how I managed to restore my entire music library, and I'm also going to show you 3 other ways I could have done it. So prior to this day, I usually back up my music library in 4 different ways. I'll show you how I set each one of them up and how I would have got my music library back if I used that method. And then the final one I go through is the one that I actually used to get my entire music library back onto my computer. So the first way I could have got my entire music library back is by using Apple's Time Machine. Time Machine essentially takes a whole backup of your computer that you can restore at a later date. In order to set this up, you're going to need an external hard drive. The hard drive that I recommend is the Samsung T7 SSD hard drive 2TB. Once you plug in this external hard drive, all you need to do is go to Time Machine Preferences, select the external drive that you want to back up to, then this will back up your entire computer to the external hard drive. Then say for example you happen to lose all your music, you can just restore this backup. Now the reason why I didn't use this method to get back my entire music library is because I actually was updating my Mac OS. Now if I was to use the latest Time Machine backup, it would have taken me back to my old Mac OS, and I didn't really want that. So now we're going to move on to the second way I could have restored my music library. Now this way is restoring the music library using my music folders. So the way I set this up before losing my music library was simply plugging in my external SSD hard drive and copying all my music folders onto it. The way I organize my music is through music folders. I used to use iTunes, but that got a little bit messy, so I moved out of iTunes. If you want to know how I moved out of iTunes, check the videos in the description down below. So when I lost my entire music library, all I would have had to do is plug my external hard drive into the machine and copy the music folders back onto the machine. Now the reason why I didn't use this method was once I moved the music back onto the hard drive, there's going to be no music organization in my DJ software. And as a DJ that's really into his music organization, I really don't want to start my music organization from scratch. So this wasn't the best method to use to restore my music library. Now let's move on to the third way I could have restored my music library. This way is using my cloud backup. I use Google Drive as my cloud provider. To see a video on how I set this up, check the link in the description down below. Basically, the way this works is I set up my Google Drive to watch my entire music folder. So anything I add, delete, or change in that folder, it will be updated in the cloud. Now, in order to restore my entire music library through this method, all I would need to do is sign into my Google Drive account on the web, head over to computers, click my MacBook Pro, right click music and download it down to my computer. But if you have a look at the size of my music library, it's over 100 gigabytes, so this was going to take ages to download. And as I had a DJ gig the next day, waiting for 100 gigabytes to download from the internet was not the best way and not the fastest way to restore my music library. Now, the method that I went with and the method that I recommend to all DJs is restoring your entire music folder. On your computer, you have a folder called music. Inside there will be everything to do with music on there, including your DJ stuff. Now, when you back up this folder, as a Serato user myself, this will also back up my Serato folder, which has all my settings and my DJ crates. So now when I restore this music folder on the computer where I lost my entire music library, everything is going to be how it was before I lost my music library. Now, how I set this up prior to losing my music library was simple. All I had to do is plug in my external SSD hard drive, create a folder in there called music backup, added a folder with the date, and I copied the entire music folder into that folder. Now, when I lost my entire music library the other day, all I needed to do was plug in my external SSD hard drive, go to the date of my last backup, copy the contents of this music folder, and then put it into the music folder on my computer. Once I'd done this, I opened up my DJ software and everything was there how it was before I lost everything. Now, I really hope you found this video helpful. It's all well and good having different backups, but you really want to have a backup that's going to be quick and easy for you to restore your music library as fast as possible. Now that you've watched this video, check this video out here.